all people celebrate on certain days of their lives. How would it be if life itself were a celebration? That is the spirit of enlightenment. It is to celebrate the spirit of enlightenment that Preethaji and Krishnaji extended their invitation to passionate seekers of the world to come to Ekam for 7 days to celebrate Ekam Enlightenment Festival in December 2018. Thousands of seekers from more than 60 countries of the world came together at Ekam as passionate seekers to rise above disturbing emotions and cravings that hurt them and hurt others.
Enlightenment cuts across all religions, it cuts across all races, it cuts across all cultures. It belongs to every single human being on this planet.
Ekam is a mystic powerhouse that has been built to impact human consciousness. When people meditate here, it pushes them beyond their incessant and compulsive thinking into magnificent states of transcendence. At a time when millions across the globe have resigned to a life of stress and destructive emotions, these seekers chose to make their way to Ekam to rise above a painful and limiting existence to glimpse immortal bliss. Entering a powerful meditation in the limitless field of consciousness with Krishnaji and Preethaji in Ekam, seekers awaken to a state of limitless love that heal their own hearts and connected to the hearts of their loved ones, both living and dead, across space and time. Their consciousness awakened to the power to impact a change in the lives of their families and organizations towards greater connectedness. For most seekers, this was their first experience of being completely one with the trees, the hills, the earth, and the waters.
Enlightenment, by definition, is a state where every form of division has ceased. It's a state of oneness.
Each day of the 7 days at the Ekam Enlightenment Festival was poetic in its structure. It was an immersion in divine transcendence. From the profound and freedom-giving wisdom of Krishnaji and Preethaji, to the consciousness-altering meditations and the joyful celebration to live music at the conclusion of each day. Day 1 began with Krishnaji establishing the importance of living with an enlightened consciousness in everyday life.
Today we have seekers from 60 different countries as one humanity towards this pursuit of enlightenment and experiencing enlightened states of consciousness. Enlightenment is a state that has always existed. There have been many civilizations that have come and gone, many religions that have come and gone, many cultures that have come and gone, many wars have been fought. But enlightenment as a state, enlightenment as a pursuit has always remained intact in our human consciousness. So if you take the philosophy of life, you start with desires and end with mukti. And that's life's pursuit. So you come to an age of saying, okay, I'm 55, I'm 60 or I'm 65 and you know what, I've enjoyed everything in life and I've come to a place where life is no more interesting. So now let me take on this pursuit of searching enlightenment and becoming enlightened. That is the conventional understanding of enlightenment. We are not looking for that. What we are looking for is to make enlightenment part of your consciousness every second of your life starting now. Not when you're 60, 65 or 70 years old. This is the secret and this is the key. If you want your life's problems to go away, if you want to find solutions for your problems, if you want your desires to be fulfilled, then your consciousness must be impacted and awakened to enlightened experiences. The struggle to make relationships work, struggle to make money, struggle to stay in power, struggle to make someone else happy, struggle to feel love. Always in a state of struggle. Struggle to make things work. If that struggle has to reduce, enlightened states must happen in your consciousness. You must experience enlightened states. That is the most powerful state that human beings can ever experience. Just imagine what kind of a leader, what kind of a parent, what kind of a partner, what kind of a friend, what kind of a brother, sister you are going to be. Enlightenment needs to start from the age of 12 or 13. So that is what we need to start delivering to the next generation if we want this world to become a better place.
And the special Sankalpa all the seekers took with Krishnaji and Preethaji. Day 2 was awakening to the enlightened state of witness.
If you look at your life and if you start observing, you will see that most of the time you are constantly comparing. That comparison is so deeply rooted in your mind that you compare with your own family, you compare with your own children, you compare with your parents, you compare with your husband, your wife, your friends. Constant comparison because the mind is finding comparison as its way to survive. The only way the mind survives and feels good about itself is when it can feel that it's better than someone else.
As part of the seeker's journey, all the thousands of seekers trekked and meditated in special energy zones in these hills that shut out the noise and chaos of the world in them.
Awareness is again the activity in the mind. Awareness is bringing conscious attention. So awareness is more a practice. You start with a practice. If you look at human beings today, we are just not aware. We are actually unaware people, but we are growing in awareness slowly. We are now becoming more and more interested in making this world a better place and making our families better. So awareness is the activity of the mind. You bring conscious attention to your thoughts, to your feelings, to what you're doing, and this is something that you practice because you're mostly unaware. Awareness must be a cakewalk, but unfortunately we are so consumed in our mind, we are so consumed with our anger, fear, comparison, jealousy and everything else that we have been living in a state of unawareness and instead following ideals and pumping ourselves up to become better human beings, which is throwing us more into a state of unawareness. So awareness is bringing conscious attention to what's going on within me and what's going on outside of me.
Day 3 was awakening to the enlightened state of bliss or ananda. It is a spiritual state of being in which joy pours into you from all sides.
Ananda is different from pleasure. It is not pleasure. Pleasure is something that arises when you feel that you are more significant. Pleasure is something that arises when you feel that you are more loved in your family, more loved than the other. But Ananda is a state of bliss pouring into your consciousness from all sides. It is an enlightened state of consciousness.
On day 4, Krishnaji and Preethaji led them into the great state of compassion.
The whole world is in this deep problem. This problem of not belonging. This problem of not feeling loved. So the solution is when you can actually feel this great compassion. Then there's absolutely no suffering at all. There is a war that's going on within you. I don't know what war you are expecting to happen. Become aware of the war. And with this war, you are destroying your family, you are destroying your friendships, you are destroying your businesses, you are destroying everything. You're destroying nature, everything. The only way this war can end is by making sure that our consciousness must be largely impacted and imprinted with this great compassion state.
Thousands of seekers meditated until the early hours of the next day, their eyes and hearts wet with compassion for themselves and the world around them. On day 5, Ekam reverberated with the power of Tattvamasi, which means you are that. A glorious state of non-dual consciousness which led them beyond all limiting mind-projected definitions to a state of being one.
When you awaken to that aspect of your consciousness, or when you awaken to that state in your consciousness, Tattvamasi, you move away from the limited mind into experiencing limitlessness and into experiencing immense power.
The 6th day was for the culminating state of cosmic consciousness. The seekers glimpsed a state of oneness with the universe. On day 7, Krishnaji and Preethaji guided the seekers into using the transcendental wisdom of these states in their everyday living.
You can call it salvation, you can call it liberation, you can call it enlightenment. But this is a passion that has continued for several generations. But in this coming together, in the spirit of enlightenment, we become individuals capable of perpetuating unity, perpetuating harmony, and an experience where there is no division. And that is why we are together in the sacred ground, Ekam, the one without any division. There are various notes that has been awakened in your consciousness, and various neural connections have been formed in your brain. When you get back to your world, when you experience conflict, then you will know very clearly there is a state in your consciousness that can be a witness to all existence and to all life. When you get back home, in the thick of the world, when you experience suffering, you know there is a state in your consciousness where there is pure bliss that is pouring into your consciousness from all sides, an experience of Ananda. When you experience separation from the other, you know there is a state in your consciousness, there is a note in your consciousness where you know that you are not separate from existence, that you are that, Tattvamasi. When you're filled with judgment towards oneself or towards another, you know there is a state in your consciousness that you are the other, an experience of Mahakaruna or great compassion would spontaneously arise within you. When you're back at home and you face loneliness or fear of death, you know there is a state in your consciousness where you are birthless, where you are deathless, where you are limitless existence. and you experience Aham Brahmasmi. The glimpse of enlightenment, the spirit of enlightenment that you have experienced over the past 7 days, that has brought us all together, is not only for transforming your experience of life, but it is for you to transform the world around you and to transform several generations that is to come. We want you to be together in this vision of enlightenment. Be the vehicles of this vision, carry it forward into the world. Be a vehicle which can perpetuate togetherness and harmony and not division.
Each day was different. For me, the key to all of these states was Tatvamasi. Yes, Tatvamasi. And it was the gate to Mahakaruna and Aham Brahmasi.
And for every process that we have done here, I have seen more and more of the mind. During the Tatvamasi process, the mind came from all directions. It was like an invasion. And I just stayed with it. And pretty soon, it was like it faded off into the distance. And all that was left was this stillness. It was emptiness, but it was fullness. It was wholeness. There were no compartments, no comparisons, no sorting, no labels, no judgment. In Tatvamasi, I saw whatever you bring there with focus, you will receive the solution. Whatever need, whatever issue, whatever problem, if you bring it there with focus, the solution will rise up.
And I was so thankful for the festival, so thankful that things fell in place for me to be here, so thankful of the teachers, of everybody who's worked so hard, Krishnaji Preethaji for putting it together, everybody who's worked so hard to make this happen, because I realized that this darkness or this emptiness is a spot where nothing has been created. And if nothing has been created, then everything is possible. And that is the limitless field.
We were doing this process, and during this process I had the most incredible experience of being in touch with the joy and also sorrow. And I was in touch with pain and ecstasy in the same moment. And the thing was, it was so beautiful. It was just an opportunity for me to witness what actually was going on without having an attachment to it being good or to it being bad, simply that it was. It was such a powerful experience, and I became incredibly expanded, and I became incredibly light, and it was like I could experience my physical body as well as all the other levels of my being. It was such a beautiful experience. I am so very, very grateful to be here.
I came for the Enlightenment Festival, and the process that we went through was Ananda, and experiencing Ananda, the state of bliss. At one part of the process, we were asked to visualize the light coming in through the 9 spires of Ekam and coming into our Sahasrara and into our being. For me, that light came into my heart and filled my whole being. It was so blissful, and it was so connected to everybody in the entire room in the Ekam.
I just discovered that the happiness and the joy and to be grateful and to have everything in life is just to be simple. In the process that we had yesterday, I connected with my little kid. I have a 5-year-old kid, and I really connected with him when I saw how my chatter in my mind was getting out, and all of the time was like getting along our connection. I just have to be in silence and connect with him the most beautiful thing, in the most beautiful way.
Ekam Enlightenment Festival is a sacred adventure and a must-go-to destination for human beings of all ages and all nations.
You should understand that Ekam is a very powerful place. It is not a building, but it's a living place. Ekam was built so that you come in touch with your sacred, you come in touch with the universal intelligence. As you walk into Ekam, your consciousness transforms. And from that space, when you ask for something, be it solving your problems or wanting your desires to be fulfilled, that magic happens. It is for all of you. Now, Cum Abundance Festival is a festival that will happen 4 times in a year. In that festival, you will receive 28 sacred treasures. Every time you come for a festival, it's for 7 days. The Cum Abundance Festival is for you to have a beautiful life. It is for you to become free of some very important problems in your life, and it is for you to fulfill your very important desires in your life. There is nothing like that festival in the world. There's nothing like it. This is the first time that something like that has come in the world, an abundance festival. There's nothing like this. You need to come and stay here for 7 days, because going to Ekam and going through those processes for 7 days transforms your consciousness completely, so that you can take back those 7 sacred treasures with you in your consciousness. So it's a very important, powerful festival. I welcome you all, and when you have time, do make it to any of these festivals. These are the most wonderful, unique journeys that you can have. I get very excited when festivals happen. It's amazing. It is just too amazing to see people from so many different countries come under one roof for one cause. And what we do here is real. It's not superficial. It is real, and you can really experience it.